First, I'd like to thank Coca 2005 for sending me this article. I will leave the link in the description. Now, I think that this is very interesting that this bit of information that I'm about to give to you has come out amidst all of things with all the allegations that have happened with the sexual harassment claims and in some cases probably the sexual harassment facts that have come out since October. It seems like it's just been a whirlwind of that stuff happening for the last 2 going on 3 months. Now, we have a woman who is a political figure who was going to have a congressional run in the state of Kansas, has now dropped out of her run because sexual harassment claims have come her way, or they resurfaced, which means they have probably most likely come to light before, but they kind of got shut down, but now they're back out in the open. Now, I remember Town Biz had did a video, I think it was last week, or maybe the week. No, it wasn't Town Biz. It was 78 Sports TV who did it. Who did a video, I think it was last week, talking about what would men do if they were the victim of sexual harassment in the workplace. Like, how would they handle it? It's because men deal with it differently than how women would deal with it. Most men wouldn't even say it because of fear of being judged by their peers or no one taking them seriously. I mean, look at what happened with Terry Crews. Not only because he was a big buff black guy, but because it was like, okay, it's Terry Crews. Who's going to take him seriously? That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, here you have this woman right here who was accused of trying to have sex with one of her colleagues, and that person ended up getting fired because he refused to have sex with her. At least that's what the article is stating, and I'm going to read the article so you can get into more detail of what it's saying. So let me go ahead and get started with that. A woman running to flip a Kansas congressional seat from red to blue next year is ending her campaign after allegations surfaced that she had sexually harassed and then fired a former subordinate. Andrea, or is it, I don't know if it's Andrea or Andrea, but I'm going to say Andrea Ramsey, age 56, is a retired business executive who worked in the nonprofit sector before deciding to run for office as a Democrat in next year's congressional midterm elections. She was one of a growing number of women inspired to seek office in the wake of 45's election. But this month, the Kansas City Star newspaper asked her about a 2005 lawsuit that accused her of sexually harassing a man at Lab 1, where she was the executive vice president of human resources, and then firing him after he rejected her advances, a claim Ms. Ramsey denies. Now, it's interesting how they said she was the vice president of human resources, and we know in human resources they deal with whether you get fired or not, or get any type of promotion and whatnot. So I thought that would be very interesting. That was interesting to note. The suit was against the company, not Ms. Ramsey specifically, and it was settled in 2006. 12 years ago, I eliminated an employee's position, Ms. Ramsey said in a letter posted to Facebook on Friday. That man decided to bring a lawsuit against the company, not against me. He named me in the allegations, claiming I fired him because he refused to have sex with me. That is a lie. Ms. Ramsey is the rare, perhaps the only woman in the public life to face consequences from a sexual harassment accusations in the weeks since journalistic exposés spawned the Me Too movement. While she might be the first one to face some consequences, we don't know what the consequences are. She's definitely not the first woman to have accusations brought against her. If y'all remember, I believe it was probably at the beginning of November, Mariah Carey had some quote unquote allegations of sexual harassment brought against her because her former security guard or whoever the guy was said that she made some kind of sexual advances towards him. But that pretty much came and went in the same week those allegations came out, and pretty much at this point no one's talking about it. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this is your first time hearing about it today by me mentioning to you right now. She said that her political opponents were using the false allegations against her, and she criticized the Democratic Party for implementing a zero tolerance standard. For me, that means a vindictive terminated employee's false allegations are enough for the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee to decide not to support our promising campaign, Ms. Ramsey added. Meredith Kelly, the communications director for the DCCC, said in an email statement, "Members and candidates must all be held to the highest standard. If anyone is guilty of sexual harassment or sexual assault, that person should not hold public office." Ms. Ramsey was one of several Democrats running to contest the House seat held by Representative Kevin Yoder in next year's midterm elections, although the Democratic primary is not until August. Ms. Ramsey told the New York Times earlier this month that her campaign had already raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. She has never held public office, but says she was emboldened to try when Mr. Yoder voted to appeal the Affordable Care Act. I was not going to abide that vote. It crystallized my decision to step up and run. Ms. Ramsey was endorsed by Emily's List, a national organization that supports female and abortion rights candidates. In an email statement on Friday, the organization acknowledged that Ms. Ramsey has ended her candidacy. We support her decision and we wish her well. Ms. Ramsey did not immediately respond to a voicemail message on Friday seeking comment about her decision. The man who filed the lawsuit, Gary Funkhauser, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. A wave of sexual harassment allegations in recent months, overwhelmingly directed at men, have led to the resignations in industries including entertainment, journalism, and technology. Several politicians have also said they will step down or not seek re-election in the face of harassment allegations this month, including Senator Al Franken and Representatives Trent Franks, Blake Farenthold, and John Conyers Jr. On balance, it is far more important to me that women are stepping forward to tell their stories and confront their harassers than it is to continue our campaign, Ms. Ramsey wrote on Friday. Like I said, this whole thing, like I said, is very interesting because, like they say, it's rare that they have a woman be the one who is accused of having sexual harassment claims against her. And of course, she stepped down from her position. So in that regards, that is a first. Now I wonder how much media attention, if any, will this story get? My guess? Little to none. Hell, this me talking about it, and I'm not stroking my own ego, but this might be the only time you hear about it is from me. Y'all let me know what you think.